Hello and welcome back to the pool. I'm the Gabbard Major and this is our review of the Russian Tier 6 cruiser, the Shchors. Now this is a game of capture the base on neighbours and it's a Tier 5 and 6 game, so looking at the other team, mostly Tier 5s. I guess the Degrassi could be a little bit annoying because it causes lots of fires. The Badonis, we know what they're like. The York being she will up tiers obviously. The KG5 and the New Mexico, obviously any battleships are always going to be concerned. The Fuso due to the number of guns, the KG5 due to its good fire chance, the New Mexico due to its very devastating AP. So we spawned in the centre. Our Nuremberg's moving over to the right, our Destroyer's moving straight to the front, and I'm moving over to the left flank to support our cruiser, battleship and destroyer combo. So with the Shchors, starting with survivability, low, middle, low range of HP. It seems quite comparable to the other light cruisers though. The armour seems quite reasonable in comparison to those other light cruisers. Admittedly we don't have the armour schedules, but looking at that top band and that bottom band of armour, you can see that it's quite comparable to the others. I don't know what was detected by then. Fubuki must be coming straight down the middle, maybe. We've got the gate. We know what's on the left flank pretty much. Badoni could be coming to range, so we're going to quickly load AP. Talking about the artillery, so we've got among the longest range guns at this tier. Now, considering we've only got 6-inch guns, that's quite amusing to have the longest range. They're also one of the fastest turning, and they've also got quite a rapid rate of fire. The fire chance isn't amazing, however, because of the rate of fire and the number of guns you've got, they are very effective at setting fires. Although because they're low damage, their DP, their individual shell amount of damage isn't that good in comparison to the others, but the actual DPM can be quite reasonable. The torpedoes, there's nothing really to shout about here. 4 kilometers range, so the shortest range torpedoes. However, they are the fastest, but the amount of damage they do is not that great. So not a lot of damage, but they will travel very fast. Now there's the Fubuki. I ain't got rain eyes on him. So at the moment, I'm not detected. I don't know why. Plane. Okay, that's fine now. Maneuverability. You're the fastest for your tier in comparison to the other cruisers. So you will be able to nip around the map quite a lot. You'll be able to use your speed to dictate your engagements. Whether you're pushing a target you wish to engage or running away from one that you wish to break off from. However, you have the largest turning circle. It's massive. Your rudder shift it's pretty average, so your rudder will bite and dig in and start doing its work pretty quickly. However, that turning circle is so big, you have to really bear it in mind. You won't be making nifty little maneuvers. Now let's just see if we can finish off this Badoni or the buddy before we move on to our next target. Fingers crossed. Now, concealment wise, we have a very higher than average concealment, and that's if you kind of focus on the concealment. If you don't focus on the concealment, then you'll probably have a very high concealment. Now, your consumables, you come with 2 consumables. You always come with sonar, and you get 2 of those base, and you can go up to 3 with fully packed. That can detect torpedoes at 2.9 kilometer range, and enemy ships at 4.2 kilometer range. The other ability you have, well, hello Fubuki. So we're going to use that sonar. Now we've talked about it. Knocked out his engines. I'm just going to get that 3rd turret, but I'm not going to bring that 4th turret in. Just because I'm cautious of the Fubuki's torpedoes, which will be very quick. Yeah, there you go. So I've got to try and not overbake this. So a bit of left rudder now should do it. Right, now you'll see that with my commander I've got an RDF ability, so I'm just using that to hunt these destroyers. But yeah, so your second ability, you can have a spotter plane. You get 3 of those. You can go up to 4. They hang around for 6 minutes spotting things like normal spotted aircraft do, and sometimes chase off other people spotting aircraft. So that's all the Gades talks are. The other ability you have, you can swap your spotter aircraft out for radar, and that's what I've done here. So I haven't used it yet because obviously these destroyers have decided that an open water gun battle is their best option rather than popping a smoke screen. But the radar will be able to pick up ships at a range of 9 kilometers. Now it only lasts for 15 seconds, but with the rate of fire of the guns, it does mean that you will be able to get 2, maybe 3 volleys off, depending how you time it. You might be able to fire when you see them, and then they drop off, and then once your guns are reloaded, then pop it, fire, get another volley off, and then just after they've dropped off, you might be able to get another volley off if you can remember whereabouts they were or where they were going. So that's the general list, stats and everything. Over here we've brought the balance. We lost a destroyer and a cruiser, but they've lost 2 destroyers and a cruiser, so been able to balance that off. Now, just talking about the commander build, I've still got Stefan, and I've got that Ingenious ability allowing me to see who's looking at me, and then I've also got this RDF ability, which then allows me to track down where people are. So it's I've kind of made it into a bit of a destroyer hunter. So I've got I know who's nearby when they're looking at me. Then I got radar and I got sonar, so it can be quite an effective destroyer hunter. But obviously, once the destroyers are gone, then you're just a normal cruiser hunting battleships and hoping they don't citadel you. Armor-wise, so you got 2 front guns, 2 front turrets and 2 rear turrets, but you can see that just to get all 4 guns on target, you have quite a wide stance, so that can be quite painful if you're caught in the open. Now to get 3 guns on target, or 3 turrets on target, you can see that you can drastically reduce your exposure to the enemy, so you can reduce that right down. Now, at the moment, we're going on a bear hunt at the moment, which is possibly a little bit on the dull side. The mods of the ship, obviously you're going to get all the base mods, so you are going to end up getting the hull, the torpedo, the gun upgrade and all that. The other upgrades, I've gone aiming systems. The reason being for aiming systems is just because it's a general buff all over the place, with torpedoes, main battery, reload and secondaries. I don't think upgrading secondaries is the way to go, and reducing your DPM for turret traverse. You've got pretty fast turrets, I don't think they need to be any faster. The second mod, I've gone for the steering gears. I know it's only 20% off the rudder shift, but I just feel that with that rudder you kind of need that ability. Now with the third upgrade, I've gone for the concealment mod. The reason being is the concealment on this is horrendous. If you don't go for that mod, that minus 10% of detectability, you really need it, because if you don't take it at some point before you get the gun upgrade, your actual your buffer between your gun maximum range and your concealment range is actually negligible. So usually if you can shoot something, it can see you, which with a cruiser you don't want that. You want to be able to close into your edge of your detectability range and then make that turn and then start a break off engagement. And the reason being is you want to be a tail chasing away. You want to be using your speed, your maneuverability to make sure you got that tail chase. And now the nice one about the RDF ability here is I can see that Fuso is the closest ship, so that means I haven't got to worry too much about there suddenly being a battleship popping up over here. So the plan here is, obviously now my front turrets are coming around, so I'm going to get that third gun explode, maybe go for the fourth gun, and then just use the knowledge that there's only one ship looking at me. Oh, two ships looking at me, so this is definitely changing it a little bit. Making the braking turn. Then I'm going to throw a bit more over because I can see he's aimed. There we go. So that's one thing you've got to do with the Russians. You've got to really play it at this kind of range and read those shells as they come in. Right, so that's one battleship gone. Oh, I didn't know the Fuso got a volley off. Damn. So now I got to go play peekaboo with another battleship because I won't be chucking torpedoes at them. However, I'm going to see if maybe I can contest the base because we're on even points. They've got a York and a New Mexico, so I'm probably only going to really engage if they're weak, or if I can definitely have a duo of our Colorado. Now, the York, unless he's gone for a super concealment build, I should be able to see him about the same time that he sees me. Yeah, so what I've noticed is because we're on the same points, if I can just pop in their base and contest it, just for even a couple of seconds, we might just get ahead. Oh, okay, so I've ticked that York before, so now I'm making a turn. Now we're in combat. The New Mexico still got loads of health, which is a massive downside. The York's just fired HE, so I know I'm quite safe here, but the New Mexico, oh, he didn't get my speed right. So we haven't been able to contest the base. Sometimes you can't get everything, but at least the theory was there. Now I can hope that maybe our Colorado can take it to the New Mexico, which would be nice. Now I know the York's got a pretty poor chance of setting fire, and if he keeps firing HE, we might get lucky in this engagement. I just got to make sure that... Now I've got to stay at this angle, because if I switch my guns to the other side, the New Mexico will be able to shred me. However, he's not looking at me, so I use this opportunity to try and close on the York. So I'm just going to pop my radar, just because I wanted to get a bit of an early warning about where he was. Now I'm deliberately going to try and switch my gun sights. The reason being is I want to keep my nose towards the New Mexico, so I've got to wait for my rear turrets to turn around. He will be able to out-torp me, so I am going to have to take into consideration when to pop the... So I want to try and make it really obvious that I want to go over here, just to disable his torpedoes, get another volley off, and then turn in, switch to AP. There we go, so he's overbaked him. Now I think he's got two launchers. There we go. Now if he's lost his engine and I'm nose on, if he fluffs it one more time... Oh, I need one more volley. There we go, and he didn't get torpedoes out. So, I now just need to contest the base, hope our Colorado can win the battle. Actually, even if I die, I think we should nip this in the bud. Which should be a nice little win. I didn't even realise we were on our way to a Kraken. That's a nice way to start the evening. So we're just going to pour the fire on, because I know the New Mexico's a bit too busy with our Colorado. They're just battle tanking each other. Yeah, so we're 12 seconds left, contesting the base. We're not too worried about capturing it, we're just trying to separate the amount of points between the teams as much as possible. And just getting those fires. Could have switched to AP, but sometimes... if you're going to use AP against a broadside battleship, aim for the deck line, just to maximise the amount of damage. But how much damage you get with AP can be quite inconsistent, depending how it lands, because it can bounce, it could shatter, depending where it lands on the armour. If you go HE, you can kind of guarantee a bit more consistent damage and fires. So usually my trait there would be to keep using the HE until I've got at least 2 fires, and then maybe use AP as like every alternative salvo, or maybe for a couple of salvos. But just bear in mind that you've only got 6-inch guns, and with those AP rounds against thick armour at long range, you will get a lot more shatters. The AP is just very effective at close range. Even against battleships at the deckline, you can get a good couple of thousand damage, but more you want to be looking at about 8 to 9 kilometers really. So there we go. A cheeky little Kraken. We killed quite a few low health ships, so obviously we've got the kills, but we haven't really got a lot of damage there. Team wise, okay, we'll just skip that. And then yeah, I just made a nice little pretty penny. So that's a review of the Tier 6 Russian cruiser, the Shchors. I'm the Galloping Major, and back to the port.